I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To our consensus agenda.
Okay, so I move that we approve the vouchers from last month. And our accounts payable vouchers were $778,455.04. Our payrolls were $678,592.73. We did have 3 payrolls last month, so that's why that number is a little bit higher. Makes a grand total of expenditures of $1,457,047.77. And I also noticed that we did pay for the roofing this month, so that is another large expense that's in this number. And then I would also move that we approve the minutes from our last meeting.
Second all that.
So moved by Steve, second by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Any patrons' comments?
You gotta have a question, Lana, come on.
All right. We will move to open the public hearing, if I could have a motion to do so. For
I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Any testimony for or against?
Yeah, so this is just an opportunity to give any feedback or thoughts, or as it says, testimony about bargaining, about if there's any wishes for us to consider as we move into the pre-bargaining session that actually officially can't be settled upon until after October 1st. But this is, by state law, we're asking input.
Anyone? Seeing no input, I take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
I heard Kevin and then I heard Wes.
No, it was Ken. I didn't say
Oh, was
anything.
it Ken?
I'm the only one that didn't say anything.
All in favor?
I said something.
Motion passes 5-0.
Ken is trying to get on the record for something tonight.
All right, now we will move on to the public hearing for the bus replacement, the capital project plan, and the 2026 budget.
I move we open that hearing.
Second.
Moved by Steve, second by Wes. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Do you have anything to tell us about our buses and?
Bus replacement plan in 2026, we're scheduled to replace 2 buses. That's typical. About every year we replace 2 buses. That is the plan as of right now. I'm going to kind of wait and see what property tax reform does to us in our levy. But that's the plan. The capital projects plan, about everything in there is just normal maintenance. Sidewalks, ceiling tile, no really additions, just upgrading what we currently have. So parking lots, all that stuff.
Tom, do we have any idea how Senate Bill 1 is gonna affect us?
Yes, Senate Bill 1, I think, will eventually cause the assessed value to go down. Operations fund is a levy-driven fund and not a rent-driven fund. So essentially, the levy will drive the rate up. We'll continue to collect the same amount of levy. People will pay probably roughly the same amount of property taxes. It's just they're going to have a smaller assessed value, a higher rate, which calculates out to the same thing. Debt service is a need-driven fund. It's not capped by levy or rate. We do not plan on increasing debt. We replace whatever debt falls off with new debt, but as far as increasing it is not in the foreseeable future. So once again, rate might be higher, AV will be lower. Overall, same approximate tax rate, right around the 84% mark.
So our dollars will not be super effective.
Now, the one thing that could have an effect on is they've initiated some credits after the circuit breaker goes into, depending on the different categories, you get a $300 credit off. That may affect our levy a little bit. We've got we got money left over in the 2024 bond to help with that, and, we have debt coming off, and so we'll probably sell another bond at the end of 2026 to replace that one. Once again, that bond's gonna be used mainly for repair and maintenance of current stuff and no additions, so hopefully we'll shift some of that loss of levy from the operations fund to the debt service fund.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on it? If not, I would move, or.
I'll move that we close, wait, no, you got something to say first.
Well, did you say anything about our budget? I mean, basically, we're gonna,
Overall budget, the education fund budget, very similar to the 2025 budget. We have a couple people that resigned or retired that we didn't replace, in which hopefully will give us room to adjust other people's wages, give a few raises, and so overall it's going to be roughly the same amount. Legislation last year put 2% new money. They changed a lot of things with curricular materials and moved that into the basic grant, but after that's taken out, we should still get 2% new money, so should be all right there. Overall numbers are about the same.
thank you.
On the buses, are they two big buses, or?
It's one and one.
I think it's one, yeah,
One small, one large.
and anymore, the small ones are about the same price.
Yeah,
as
there's
the
only
big ones.
20,
Wow.
140 and 120. I mean, there's only a small difference in between. Yeah.
Let's buy a whole bunch of that 20,000 extra.
All right, now entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make the motion to close that part of the
I'll second.
public hearing.
It's been moved by Wes, second by Ken. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. On to personnel.
All right, extracurricular activities, the two top ones here, we'll go ahead and do those together. I recommend the approval of Candace Haynes as the 24-25 school year productions. That should be 25-26.
It should be 24, 25.
That's from last year when she took that over. Yes, that's correct. Sorry about that. School year production co-director, so she can get paid for obviously helping that. And then Kim Stetzel is the Spirit Club sponsor for this school year.
Move we approve those two ladies' contracts as presented.
Second.
Moved by Steve, second by Wes. Any discussion?
How much is that stipend that we owe?
$1,000.
Yeah, give or take. I
I
mean,
think it's 1,010.
Okay.
All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Recommend the approval of Terry Large and Janelle Bontrager. We had given them kudos at, I think, our last board meeting, and that recommendation hadn't been written, but they have done Triton Elementary a solid by filling in for Grace as she is out on medical leave. So they're doing a great job, and two quality people in there invested in our kids, doing a great job.
Second.
Second
Moved by
it.
Kevin.
I
second
didn't
by-
say anything against it. It was Ken. It was Ken that time. Ken beat you.
All right, Ken.
Come on, Laura, you guys.
Kevin and Ken. Any discussion? All
Do-
in favor?
I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Is that gonna be that way all year, Mason, or do we, I had heard a rumor, I think, about somebody maybe coming in and taking over that classroom eventually?
Yeah, so I think it's still kind of up in the air, but I don't think either one of them really wanted to commit to a full year. So that's something I just gotta work on.
We're gonna do our best. That they've really committed to Thanksgiving break. The timing of that does allow for other opportunities, but I don't know that we've solidified any of those just based on
Okay.
the hopes and what that might look like as other opportunities grow. We have a student teacher in the building. Let's just be honest, and we have a student teacher in the building that has an opportunity to do a really, really great job in student teaching, and the possibility of her being that option. I've spoken to her about that, so we don't know that that's going to be the solution, but in the end, the timing of that does allow for a bookend.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
On to classified, I recommend the approval of the resignation of Deb Green as part-time elementary custodian, effective 8/31 of 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Steve, second by Kevin. You guys are too quick tonight.
That was really quick. Give her a
Any
second.
He
discussion?
wants to go home and watch Bears.
Yeah. All in favor?
Go on a bike ride, actually.
Motion passes 5-0.
The next four, I recommend the approval of Erica Alexander as the part-time elementary evening custodian. So that replaces the Deb piece. And then the next three are substitute teachers, Annika Spengel, Jaslyn Trusty, and Jaden Heckman.
We approve those.
Second.
Been moved by Ken, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. On to business.
All right, in your board packet, you saw the 25-26 annual financial report, the Gateway report. So obviously, it's a long, drawn-out document. If there's any questions, Tom would be more than happy to answer any of those questions. But I would recommend the approval and the acceptance of the 25-26 annual report, just giving you all the nitty-gritty of finances. While we're at that, since we have talked a little bit about, obviously, the hearing for the bus and capital projects, I would go ahead and recommend the approval of the resolution for the 26 bus replacement and capital projects fund as well.
Second.
Been moved by Kevin, seconded by Ken. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Every year, it's expected that transportation director Laura Baker obviously gives you the annual review of bus routes to make sure we are being compliant with the law. So that was in the packet. Make sure that we're not allowing students out and or crossing state highways and those type of things, making sure all those bus stops are compliant. Student transportation safety policy was updated. That was also obviously in the board packet. But then also just a little bit of information of updates for the transportation handbook.
I move we approve the annual review and the safety policy, transportation handbook.
Second.
A move by Steve, seconded by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
I'd also recommend the approval of the second reading and adopt policy volume 37, number 2 for April of 2025. A lot of that, once again, as we talked last month, is updates to the law. A lot of those went into effect quickly with only one reading, or only the second reading instead of 3, but that continues to include just making sure we're up to date.
I move we approve those.
Second.
Been moved by Steve, seconded by Ken. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
And last but not least, I recommend the approval of the 5th grade students to go on their Camp Amigo trip, May 11th and 12th.
Move we approve that.
Second.
Been moved by Ken, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. It's good to see them going back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice.
A whole new 5th grade team last year, right? So they got to experience it for the first time. They loved it too, so it's always good that the teachers. But yeah, it's good, so. Good, excited. Are you good?
Yep. Moving on to superintendent report.
All right, so continuous improvement, just strength, staff and leadership already embrace a mindset of growth, adapting to new ideas and strategies. So these are just 3 ways that has happened. I am happy to report the elementary schedule that we talked about last month. Obviously, we're now a month in. It's still going very well. Students are eating and drinking more. There's less waste, and we're anxious to see if there's an impact on discipline referrals. So that's been going well. Last month, we approved updated calendar in response to the mistake on the previous calendar. I am happy to announce that we have since received a 3-year waiver from the state that allows our corporation to continue the 3 delayed start days for professional development. The one adjustment to this year's calendar is we will on the parent-teacher conference day, in order to make sure that we keep our built-in days in the second semester, and this is the calendar that you approved. I'm just announcing that again so everybody can hear that, and/or we need to post that calendar. We will have a digital learning day on the October 9th parent-teacher conference day. If you remember last year, we waited to do a digital learning day at the end of the year to make up for. Our students are prepared for this. Our teachers are prepared for this. It's not going to be that big of an adjustment. We do make sure that the workload is reasonable. We do know that they're going to be there for parent-teacher conferences as well. It's going to be an asynchronous day, so our teachers don't necessarily, essentially they're assigning tasks versus having to teach digitally. So our students are pretty used to that on Google Classroom and so on. So it does help us to kind of recoup that day and leave those days at the end of the year in case we have snow or fog or whatever that may be. Evidence-based decision-making, right now we're in the process of collecting a lot of beginning of the year data. Teachers are beginning to utilize this data to drive instruction. Data meetings will be happening in the coming week and/or weeks. Moving on to shared leadership, senior high skill building takes a commitment from everyone to be vulnerable, possibly even learn new skills. I am confident that everyone in this room can shake hands, so it's kind of one of those that's a no-brainer. But I think we hear a lot from other corporations that Triton kiddos, when they come in, they greet people, they look people in the eye. They have some of those soft skills that maybe some other corporations don't, and we just want to continue to reinforce that for their next journey as they continue to move on. So I know some people say, I already know how to do that, but there's quite frankly some that they just don't know how. So we'll continue to try to be uncommon in that area. Triton Gives Back, social responsibility. Triton Gives Back is taking place on September 26th, and when each and every one of our students and staff members will be mobilized throughout our community to serve. Triton Volleyball just served as the Oliver Ford 70th anniversary celebration, so they specifically were asked to help with that and did a great job, brought a lot of energy and represented us well. I do want to congratulate Addison Hammond and Braden Hooley for being named Troop 251's newest Eagle Scouts. So that takes a lot of time, commitment, and effort, and they achieved that. Accountability, I'd especially like to thank our kindergarten and junior high teachers who contacted families and welcomed students to their school in what can sometimes be a tough transition. So just coming in, those kindergarten parents, they just want to know who's going to be with their kids. Those 7th graders going over to the big building made it a point to reach out to them, and I appreciate that effort. 4th grade parent information meeting was held last week, so I got to see those parents come in, go to those 4th grade classrooms, hear from the teachers, see where their kids are every day, learn about expectations, be able to ask questions. And so just, once again, trying to reach out to parents, understanding that homeschool connection is what's best for kids. High expectations, I had the privilege of watching this on display for a couple days, the last 2 weeks at the elementary school. Mason and Melissa are doing a great job, and in Melissa's absence, being able to interact with the teachers, the kids, just a lot of great things happening in that building, working hard, and there's just a different feel this year, and I really appreciate the time and effort that's going into that. Teachers have established routines, assess students' current levels, and are coming up. The data meetings are coming up will help set goals and drive instruction. So doing a really, really nice job there. So short and sweet. Obviously campus is full tonight, a lot of activities going on. Tennis is off to a great start. Cross country is off to a great start. Football, volleyball. I'm probably missing something. Our cheerleaders have been awesome. Band under the new direction of Becca is trying to be more efficient and really work hard to continue to grow those numbers. So super proud of what's going on.
Do we have any patrons comment? You guys have any questions? No?
So you understood everything that we did tonight, right?
You just don't want to prolong it, right?
When does this get over?
Soon. We'll move on to building reports.
Okay, so I'm filling in for Melissa tonight. She was under the weather, and so she's asked me to fill in. So just sharing the notes that she had here. We both felt like we were off to a great start. Jeremy mentioned this, but everybody has just really had such a great attitude, and that includes our staff and our students and our parents. Just feels like everyone's working together for the betterment of the school, so that's great. Jeremy kind of mentioned this part too, but many people have made the comment that things just feel different as we've started this school year, and that it's a good difference. So that's a good thing. Melissa and I continue to be visible for our teachers and our kids. We're around the building every day, every morning we're around, and throughout the day try to be visible for our students and our kids. So that's great. This year we started something new. We have a Student of the Month program, typical or similar to what they do at the high school. And so we just had our first round of Student of the Month, and that was for the month of August that we announced at the 1st of September. And so each classroom, a teacher selected a Student of the Month, and we announced those kids on the announcements, and they came down. They got a medal and a certificate, and then we got their pictures taken. So that's gone really, really well. Their pictures are hanging outside the classrooms, so that's really cool too to see those up there, and they'll be up there all month until the next month when we announce the new winner. So the next month we'll announce our September Students of the Month around 1st of October. Our picture retakes are coming up, so September 19th we'll have picture retakes. The 6th grade will have their Olympics. They study ancient Greek history in their curriculum, and so they're going to have their Olympics on September 25th, and that takes place here at the school. We have, as Jeremy mentioned, Triton Gives Back on September 26th, and that's just a great day for all of our kids and our staff just to provide some kind of service for the community, so we're excited about that. And then also on October 9th, we have our parent-teacher conferences, and as Jeremy mentioned, that will also be a digital learning day for our students. So lots of things going on at the elementary school, but we're off to a great start, and we're just excited to keep that momentum rolling. As Jeremy mentioned too, we have data meetings coming up and that kind of stuff. So this is kind of where the rubber meets the road, right? We've had a good start, but now we start to kind of get down to business to see where all of our kids are and what we can do to bring them up to benchmark. So probably some of the tougher conversations are coming and more of the hard work down the road, but we're confident in our staff to get our kids where they need to be.
All right, for the junior, senior high school, this past week, our counselors met with all seniors and we did our senior audits, just making sure our seniors are ready for graduation and not missing any important items. Hopefully everything turned out well for you guys. This week, we actually start our junior audits. So counselors will be meeting with all juniors and taking a look at, their graduation requirements and preparing for senior year. Beginning of year benchmark testing is complete. We've started on our SRI. I think it's called SRM now, correct? So that's our reading inventory that we do with all students. So that's currently underway and preparing for our first iLearn checkpoint. So along with that will come some data meetings where we sit down and look at that data and have conversations on where we're at and where we can go from there. This week is a busy week with homecoming, so a lot of different activities going on. Kind of all twisted in there. Just Thursday we have hearing screenings for grades 7 and 10. On Friday is picture day. We have vision screenings for grade 8. We have a pep session at the end of the day. We have a dance after the game Friday night. And that might be interesting because I don't know if everyone's going to dress up for Spirit Day and pictures or if you're bringing a change of clothes, but might be something to just think about. All right. Upcoming events, September 16th, we have curriculum development for language arts. September 18th, that's our 2-hour delay in staff professional development. We also have, no, I'll scratch that. I'm thinking October. I'm a month ahead here. But anyway, September 18th, we have a 2-hour delay day and we have staff professional development. Mr. Riffle kind of talked about the Trojan Skill Builder program that we're doing. Decided to hit on some soft skills this year. We kind of talked about the greeting, the shaking hands, the eye contact, how to send an email. That was one of the things we talked about, not putting your entire message in the subject line, which is a common thing that we see. This month we're actually going to touch on the topic of teamwork, and the counselors have done a really good job of starting that up, and they kind of put a lesson out there that they've recorded, and I think they've made it somewhat interesting and inviting, and hopefully our students feel the same way. On September 23rd, we're going to be doing we're going to do another round of peer-to-peer mentoring. So that's something that Andy Bass is really passionate about, and he's brought that to us the last few years, and that's where some of our staff, they go and observe other staff members, and then we get together and we talk about what good instruction looks like, what did we see in that classroom, and hopefully the idea is that those teachers are able to steal golden nuggets and take it back to their own classroom with them, and we'll try and do that again second semester if we can. September 24th, blood drive, so any student, I believe it's 16 and older, is able to donate blood on that date. September 26th, Triton Gives Back, and then October 3rd, that's the end of our first 9 weeks, so that's less than a month away, so we're flying by here. October 7th, that's PSAT for our sophomores, and then October 8th, we have Dream Day for our juniors and seniors. So a lot going on, exciting, year's off to a good start, so answer any questions if you have them.
If there's no other business, we will move to adjourn at 7:25.